It wasn't good enough. I think just in general, they came out with more energy than we did. Their defense and our offense. So we didn't execute. I missed some throws down the field, and obviously we didn't play good enough in the first half. I mean, it's hard to say. I felt like we had energy at practice.
It was supposed to be history in the making. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the Kansas City Chiefs stepping onto the field in Brazil for the very first time. Fans from across South America filling Arena Corinthians, waving banners, screaming chants, ready to witness the Chiefs light up the Chargers. But instead of fireworks, Kansas City stumbled. And from the moment the whistle blew, I could feel something was off. The energy just wore sharper, their offense hungrier, while we looked flat. And when I sat at the podium after the loss, I had to admit it. It wasn't good enough. We didn't execute. I missed throws down the field. We didn't match their mindset. And when you don't bring the right energy in this league, you get beat. Plain and simple. They came in with the right approach. We didn't, and they beat us. We had energy in practice all week. We thought we were ready, but practice energy doesn't matter if you can't carry it onto the field. And tonight was a lesson, a painful one, especially for the young guys on this team, because we're going to get everybody's best shot every single week. Teams circle us on their calendar, and if we don't play to the highest standard, we'll fall, just like we did here. It didn't help losing Xavier on the third play of the game. That hurt. He's a huge part of our plan, someone we rely on to break man coverage. And when he went down, other guys had to step up. Taquan, Hollywood, Juju, they did their best, but it took us too long to adjust, and by then we were chasing the game. And I know if I hit some of those early throws, the defense loosens, the game feels different, but I didn't, and that's on me. Still, being here in Brazil was something I'll never forget. The atmosphere, the anthem, the way the crowd sang every word with passion. I'll remember that for the rest of my life, even if the result wasn't what we wanted. And for a moment, when I threw that touchdown to Travis Kelce to break Dan Marino's record for most touchdowns by a quarterback under 30, the entire place erupted, even in a losing effort. And it hit me, this was, and that's the standard I hold myself to. Then Chris Jones stepped up and said what we all felt: it's on us. Too many mistakes, too many penalties, self-inflicted wounds, offsides, roughing the passer, shooting ourselves in the foot. That's not who we are, but tonight it was, and it cost us. And as leaders, we know we've got to hold ourselves accountable. Every detail matters, every play matters, and if we don't fix those, we'll keep paying the price. The game had its controversies too, like when I lowered my shoulder at the sideline against Dante Jackson instead of going out of bounds. I wanted to spark the team to wake us up, but I know I can't take those hits every week. Gotta be smart. But in the moment, I wasn't leaving the field quietly, and fans loved it. Analysts criticized it, some saying if defenders get flagged for touching me near the sideline, then I should be fair game too. And fans loved it. Analysts criticized it, some saying if defenders get flagged for touching me near the sideline, then I should be fair game too. And if it's in goal, I can off now. Tart flagged but not ejected because the ref said it was an open palm and not a punch, and it sparked outrage, especially online where #ProtectKelsey started trending. But in the end, none of it changed the outcome. We lost. Inside the locker room, the message was clear: self-reflection, accountability. Every one of us contributed to this loss. And if this is our worst, then there's still hope, because we know we'll get better. By December, we'll be where we need to be if we correct the details now. And that's what matters. I told the room and I told the reporters, we can't rely on second half magic every week. Teams in this league are too good. We've got to start fast, match the energy, execute from the first snap, because next week we face the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions. And if we come out flat again, it'll look like last February all over. But if we bring our best, we can flip the script. Brazil gave us an unforgettable stage, a memory that will last forever, but it also gave us a painful reminder that greatness isn't guaranteed. It has to be earned every single snap. And for us, the path forward is simple. Fix the mistakes, bring the energy, and never underestimate the opponent, because if we don't, nights like this will haunt us, but if we do, we'll rise again. And as I sat on that long flight back home, my ears, the flashes of red and yellow lights from the Brazilian fans who believed in us even more than some back home. And I thought about the responsibility I carry, not just as the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, but as someone who represents the game itself in places where football is still growing, because when kids in Sao Paulo painted their faces with Chiefs logos and screamed my name, it wasn't just about one game, it was about the to them too. Losing hurt, of course, it always does. But what lingered wasn't just the sting of defeat. It was the reminder that my role is bigger than the scoreboard, that every throw, every decision, every handshake with a fan is shaping how the NFL will be remembered here, and that's something I can't take lightly. I replayed the touchdown to Travis over and over in my mind, not because it was record-breaking, but because I saw the way he looked up into the crowd, his hands pointing to the sky as if sharing that moment with every single fan packed into the stadium, and in that instant, I understood why having Taylor Swift in the stands mattered too, why her presence carried a ripple effect far beyond us, because when she waved at the crowd and they screamed D and does, because when she waved at the crowd and they screamed D back, it wasn't just love, it was hope, it was connection. It was proof that football and music and culture could all collide and make something bigger than any single game. I thought about Andy Reid, his voice steady after the game, reminding us that one loss doesn't define a season, that our story isn't written in September but in January, in February when the lights are the brightest, and that as leaders we have to take every stumble as a lesson, not an anchor, because the great ones rise. I thought about Chris Jones sitting with his head low but his eyes burning, vowing that the defense would never again let penalties define us, and I knew he meant it, because I've seen what happens when Chris sets his mind to something. I thought about the young guys too, standing there in silence, processing what it means to fall short, and I wanted to tell them, this is what builds you. This is what forges champions. Not the easy wins, but the hard nights when the world is watching and you don't deliver. And I thought about myself, my role, my mistakes, the throws I missed, the moments I let slip, and I promised myself that next time in Philadelphia, in Miami, wherever we play, I will not hesitate, I will not leave anything undone, because regret is heavier than failure, and I've carried enough of it already. The night in Sao Paulo will live forever, not as the game we wanted, but as the reminder of what it takes, of what it costs, and of why we fight. And when I close my eyes, I can still hear the Brazilian fans chanting Mahomes, Mahomes, even after the loss, even after the disappointment. And I know deep down, this isn't the end of the story. It's just another chapter, and the best ones are still to come.